Yep. What up? We have a bit of work to do tonight. As soon as I remember what in the world I was working on, because it's been like 2, 3 days, something like that, since last time we played. There's a list that exists in my head, and the list is something like add military science down here, get some military science on the go, expand your purple science, expand your yellow science. That's kind of on the to-do list generally. We need to put stone on trains at some point so that we can pipe it into the bus because we're going to need it for rail. We need to finish upgrading these walls to the new format that we're using that includes gun turrets instead of just laser turrets. I'd like to get artillery set up, and then we're also working on mech armor. So given that the walls mostly hold, I feel like that's relatively low priority, and I think I would really like to just expand science out a bit. So let's jump into doing military science, because I'm pretty sure I've got everything that I need to put that together on trains already. This factory is currently making 34 assemblers worth of red science, and each one is 0.15 per second. So we're making about 300 science per second. If I were going to do that for military science, I would need the same number. Yeah, I need 34 of these. And then I would also like to get the ratio to make sense for grenades into military science. I would really like that to be 1-to-1. It saves me a ton of work of having to ship extra stuff in. So you make 0.09 per second, you consume 0.07. If I go to threes, does that improve it? It goes from 0.12 to 0.15. I can stick with twos in that case then, because I'm probably not going to module any of these. Alright, so we need 34 of these. They're going to go roughly like this. Actually, I can make these one tighter. You can go here. You can go here. You can grab like this. And then we're going to have a belt that comes through here that carries wall plus piercing rounds. Do I want to build? I could also just build these in one giant line, I guess. So we'd have 34 of these. And that should be fairly tileable. I think that works. What's up, Alberto? Thanks for the bits. I appreciate that. So I think that should work just fine. You're gonna output. Yeah, this isn't gonna flood any of the bells. Although actually you're a problem. You're gonna consume 1 coal per second. No, that's not a problem. You're only gonna have 34 of these. So you can go up to 45. Alright. Now, where's this going to live? Well, we're already belting in iron over here. So we probably want to staple it onto the end of that. We're going to need to leave ourselves a little bit of extra room to bring the other goods in. Also, I don't remember what my plan was for this, so I'm going to get rid of it. But I think this belt is going to come all the way down. Hold on, getting a G-chat. Not important. Good. So iron's going to come all the way down here. Something like that. Turn here. We're gonna need coal as well. Coal lives on 1-4 trains. So I'm going to need this... Where the hell am I? Here I am. I'm going to need this unloader, but flipped. And it's going to need to output into a single belt. So I can just grab you. Flip you horizontally like this. Staple a station onto the top. You're going to be 141 coal pickup. I should have that station over here that I can just copy and paste. And then we'll need you to talk to the signal. Yep, that looks fine. You're going to turn here. You're going to turn here. It's going to be a lot of wasted space down the middle, but I guess I'll live with it. So that takes care of grenades, which are going to plug in here. But I'm also going to need a piercing round train. I believe that train is a 111. It is. So we'll put that in. Flip you horizontally like this. Give you a station. You are... I'll grab piercing rounds pickup and then I'll just change the name to piercing ammo drop off. We will need to connect you to circuitry. We'll need to make sure that you can reach. You are turned on when this is less than 4.8k. And that's going to make our piercing ammo train confused temporarily, but it'll be fine. We'll do our little Y. I went too far up. Oh, there we go. Oh, this needs to come down a little further. I didn't leave room for the locomotive hanging off the end. 1, 2, 3. That should be fine. And then you can just get path signals, so I don't have to think about the actual right signaling to use in that spot. And then the last thing that we're going to need is bricks. Bricks are on a 141, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're on a 121. Okay. Then we'll grab this. Grab this. And you will go... Extend this rail up. Give you a station. This we can copy from the mall. There should be a brick station here that we can use. Connect you to the circuit. And then pull all of this rail all the way down. Really tempted to try and pull this thing off in like a siding, but I'll just do this instead. It's easier this way. It's faster this way. Okay, so how many wall assemblers do I need? I'm going to need 0.15 times 34. I'm going to need 5 wall per second, which is going to take... for these, I'm not going to worry about ratios, so I can make them in breeze. You make 2.5. I'm going to need just slightly more than 2 assemblers. And if that's the case, I may honestly just build them inline, like this. 1, 2, 3. And then go give me some power poles for this. I also need to bring some splitters with me on the way back. Nuclear refining loop is working just fine. So I need blue splitters, I need medium power poles. Blue splitters we can grab here. Medium power poles we can grab here. And you're going to need a lot more blue assemblers as well, so grab those while you're down here as well. Grab 150 just to be safe, even though I'm pretty sure 100 will be fine. So you're just going to go like this. I imagine I'm going to need stack inserters to maximize my throughput on this. So a little something like that. I hate the way you've decided to cable that. You will be making wall. About that much, let's say. And then you're going to be spitting out 7.5. I can fit that on half of a blue belt. You are piercing rounds, so piercing rounds are also going to plug right into this thing. And this is the second belt of input for our military science. So, here is our coal plus iron belt. We're going to drag you to about here. Snip that off. Run you under like this. Move this whole thing up to about... Yeah, here's probably fine. Although I'd actually like you... Well, yeah. You come up one, because you're going to plug in first. Also, I just remembered, I forgot to ping the Discord. Let me go do that quick. You could have a bot do that kind of stuff for you, but I preferred authentic engagement. So, that's what you get. Every single ping handcrafted, artisanally. And then we swing you to like here. Why have you not summoned your piercing rounds train? Because I probably never gave it any instructions, is why. Yeah, sure enough. Okay, piercing ammo pickup. Until full. Piercing ammo drop off. Until empty. Your interrupt is 111 low fuel. Off you go. You are going to need a way to unload walls. So there you go. And then the only thing left to do is expand this upwards until I have 34 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $20. Frick. Alright, we're gonna do this instead. I'm gonna build 40. Why not? Sure, why not? Also, this power line work is god-awful. So you need to back up by 1 now and get split. And you're out of blues. Alright, you gotta go get more blues. Let's go take that up. Let's go get that taken care of. I didn't think they would take up that much space, honestly. Wait a minute, why do they? No, that's... you're there... No, it's... you're right. It's okay. I like, we're gonna tear all this stuff out eventually anyway, because when I get biolabs, I'll probably try to go to like 500 instead of 300. But for now... So we're overproducing military science by a tiny bit. Who cares? It's not gonna hurt anyone. I don't even remember what you are. I'll have to figure out what that train is supposed to do after this. Alright, knock yourself out. You're also going to be short on blue inserters here. You're also going to be short on blue undergrounds here. Scary. Woohoo. Alright, let's go get some blue undergrounds. Let's go get some blue inserters. I think you may... I'm gonna rip all those power lines out. I'm gonna rip all those power lines out and replace them with mediums. I hate the way that they look. They all overlap with one another and it's disgusting. Wretched. Your base isn't pleasing to look at, what's the point? Should probably also stick lights on it eventually. I don't know. Whatever, man. Scary. I'm gonna get killed by a train, and the worst thing is that it is going to happen like 10 minutes before I unlock mech armor and render myself immune to ever getting killed by a train. It's going to be entirely preventable. I hate this. Oh, it's so ugly. This is what happens when you build fast and don't care. Nope, no, you stop there. That's right. Okay. So then you're gonna come through here. Why is your blue a full belt? When the whole point is that it connects to military up here. Yeah, you're gonna have to change all of that. Okay. So am I currently using military science? It is. Ooh. So you're gonna go like that. And then we're gonna have military come in through like this. I think the idea that I was ever going to have... Well, how many are you making right now? 0.06? 0.06 times 40? Times 60. You're only making 144 per second. I need twice as many of those to hit 300. My blue science is, like, severely underbuilt. That's interesting. Maybe it's because I put prod modules in it? Maybe I should be using prod... it's too late now. Alright, so I need 2 more of these. If I want to hit 300. So grab this. This should be the tileable portion. You'll have one more go. You're going to need to rip these power lines out. The uranium mine is temporarily going to go offline, but that's okay. We can just repower it later. And then start here. And tile 1, 2. But this part at the end is going to be different. Because it's just going to go like this. And then copy these over. Because these are going to go like this. And like this. And like this. And then this will be where the military science comes through. And then reestablish power to uranium. There you go. And then finish building all of this. You're going to need prod module 1s. You're going to need more blue belts. Prod 1s, blue belts, blue inserters. Can do. And then I can finally rip apart this god-awful military science factory. And with it, I think most of the old base. Okay, so we take you. We need about 100 of those. We're eating all of our prod 1s because our prod 2s aren't quite caught up yet. I guess I'll just use prod 2s. And then you also needed more blue belt. Like about that much. Could actually just put prod 2s in everything if we wanted to. I'm not that concerned about saving resources. We do have a ton of space out here right now. There's a lot of mines that we have not yet tapped into. But for now, it'll be fine. As long as it doesn't fuck with the ratio too much. We'll take a look at it after. As far as power goes, like, you know we're good for it. Because if we need to build a third nuclear reactor, we can. Alright, so now you're making 0.05. 0.05 times 80 is 4, times 60 is 240. It really wants a fifth one. No, I'm not giving it a fifth one yet. What I'm gonna do instead, because I foresee this being a problem, is I'm gonna have the military science come down like through here. And then through here. And then like this. That way, if I decide I want to tack one more blue science assembler onto the end, I don't have to move the military science belt. And you come along up here. You come down here, and over here. And then we rip out all of these power lines. So give me a deconstruction planner. I want you set to entities. I want you to hit power poles only. Remove all of these, please. I'm going to redo them with better power poles. These guys specifically. So we can go here, 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 here. And then Yeah, you are gonna have to do it every other. Okay. So we take this, go here, 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 and then one more at the top. And off goes military science. Except for this one. There you go. So, let's make sure this saturates, just to make sure we've done everything right. Concerned I'm not giving it enough coal. You wouldn't be giving it enough coal, because there's 20 in a line. No, it should just barely have enough. There's 20 of these in a line. It consumes 0.93 coal per second, so it should be consuming just under 20 coal per second. But an express transport belt moves 45, so each side should be 22.5. Oh, but you're feeding 40 machines with it, and it's a half belt here. So this entire array wants to eat almost 40 coal. And you're only giving it 22.5. Alright, then we need to take 22.5 divided by 0.93. That gives you 24.15 times 24. It's only going to give you 216 science per minute. So it should only ever be able to supply up to here. Everything from here on up should be overkill. The other thing that we could do is upgrade to turbo belts, but I'd rather just do this. I don't wish to have coal on me either. You can take that away, logistics rounds. You guys are really filling up, huh? Well, I don't need this anymore. I can delete that. I can give you some spare iron plates. I can give you some spare walls. I can give you some spare piercing rounds. I can give you some spare piercing rounds. Hello. What's up? Hi. Hello. Love you too. Bye. My mother wished to say hello. On the phone. She's not, like, actually here. Otherwise, I would go and see her, because I'm a good son most of the time. Alright, so that's military science squared away. Now, we need to eat everything on this blue belt to clear it. So this can go, first of all. We're gonna loop this up to here. And I'm just gonna sit here and slurp on this belt until we see the military science come through. And when we fill up, we'll dump it all into the labs. You can go here. You can go here. You can all go here. Also, we have so many prod 2s on us. We should upgrade the prod modules in the lab as long as we're up here. These should all be running off of prod 2s to get us even more science out of this. Alright, I need one more stack of prod tubes, please. Hello, drones. I'll allow you to take out of my inventory shortly. I have to just get to where I'm going. And then you can have all of those. Knock yourself out. Bunch of old, obsolete prod ones. Be my guest. Continue sucking down this blue belt. I see the military science coming. It's right there. You can see the lab start to grab it. Alrighty. There. And now I can start getting rid of some of these stations. I do not need coal here anymore. We do not need coal deliveries. We do not need stone anymore. We don't need stone brick. So we can sever this belt here, and we can pull it up. Get rid of all of this. We definitely don't need iron ore shipped here anymore, because we were only using that for refined concrete, and we put in new refined concrete up here. I'll let you finish building these walls, I guess, and then I'll rip you up. No, I'm not. I'm just going to tear you up now, and I can have the logistics drones sort out all the garbage that's going to be in my inventory afterwards. Yeah, I was afraid of that. How about this? Just put down a giant array of passive provider chests. They can gradually suck all of the items out of my inventory. Like, all of this junk you can put into this passive provider. We're not going to need grenades assembly anymore, so we can destroy that splitter. And pull you down through here. We're not going to need piercing rounds anymore, so we can split this splitter here. We can get rid of that steel splitter there. Pull these down. Get rid of these. We're not going to need piercing rounds factories anymore. Get rid of these. We have supplanted those with uranium rounds at this point. You can have the rest of these walls. You can have the rest of these rounds. Have some more walls. All of this belt weaving can go. Killed power to the lab. Huh. Hello! Hi, cousins! Sorry, I did not know that we were going to be doing, like, the family call when I started streaming tonight. Everybody wants to say hi. Alright, drones are going to be coming along to deal with that shortly. Make sure you're getting powered, because I do think I still need the gears for something. I don't know what, but I might need them. Pull this up. Pull this up. All of this can go. We don't need to be splitting iron here anymore. And we don't need coal at all. How much of the base did I sever power to? The mall is still powered. Okay, I think we do need to repower that section of the base. Oh, also, this can get cut. We're at 160 science per minute, because we are now going to be bottlenecked by purple and yellow. Rather than being bottlenecked by... I think military was our bottleneck previously. So we still have a bottleneck, it's just a different bottleneck. Also, I think that buffer chest for gears has outlived its usefulness at this point. So that can go. Let's tear up... the coal is still unloading. I don't want to tear the coal belt up yet. Well, no, I can, because my bots will just dump it into the logistics network somewhere. And since it is something that gets shipped to the bot mall, eventually it will find its way into... No, it doesn't get shipped to the bot mall. I'll probably have to manually empty that coal. It shouldn't be too bad. These buffer chests are going to take a lot of work to reintegrate with the rest of the base, but that's fine. This is important tidying up work. Just don't think coal really gets used in anything that I would want to make. I'm gonna have to, like, drag it over to where plastics are and put it all into the manufacturer by hand over there. I think that's gonna be the best way to get rid of it. This is also going to dump a ton of logistics bots into the network, because I'm sure they're all busy trying to pull coal out of my inventory right now. There you go. Good? Good. Then, we can get rid of all of this. You're going to need to pull the power back up. Then you can get rid of this. I don't think you can turn off the iron stop yet. I don't think you can turn off the copper stop yet. Get rid of these. Get rid of this. Get rid of this coming up here. Get rid of this. And then get rid of this. And finally, get rid of this. Be gone. Old gray science factory. Then pull this down here. That cut power from the reactors to you. Yes, it did. And you probably didn't want that to happen. So reestablish power there. And reestablish power here. What else am I using stone brick for? Oh, furnaces for purple science. Yeah, alright, that does need to stick around a little longer. This also needs to stick around a little longer. I think. Am I making space platforms out here? If I'm not, I should be. You're not. You should be. All of this can go as well. Yeah, that can all go. So you can go. You do have 500 radars in there. Yeah. We need to put that in the logistics network so that it knows it exists. Because if we're still making radars in the main base, we definitely don't want to be anymore. But this stuff, these have dedicated chests back in the bot mall. So I'm fine to dump these in a passive provider because the logistics network will be able to see it. And as long as the logistics network can see it, the logistics network will draw from it before it turns on any of the assemblers. So I'm okay with that. It's going to take a long time. But eventually we're going to come back to these chests and they're going to be empty. Because they'll just naturally get added to the logistics network back at the bottom. This probably needs to stick around, because it's making the prod ones. No, it's not. No. I can remove this green circuit assembly. Wow, okay. I didn't think I was going to be able to obsolete that. You can go. So you don't need to split off here. You can go. Just thread this needle. You've severed power to your base again. It's normal and it's to be expected. These are pretty ancillary power poles now, though. As are these. Don't know what those do, but I'm going to leave them in place for now. Don't know why I have 192 fuel cells down there, but I'm going to leave them in place for now. We can continue pulling these green circuits up. We no longer need to be splitting iron off for this. Yeah, none of that gets used. So you can just go straight through and this belt can come out. This splitter can go. All of these modules we make in the new base, in the bot mall. This splitter cannot go. But we can do that with it. And then I can tear all of this down. I can tear this down. And I can tear this down. And I can tear this down. Okay. Also, you can be a passive provider in case we need stone. And then I'll put another set of passive providers down, because I'm going to have to dump a bunch of stuff into them here, surely. All of this obsolete junk. You can have these pipes, too. I don't know if I'm going to do... I don't know what I'm going to do with pipes in the near future. You can have these AM2s. I want those foundries back. You can have these furnaces. You can have these iron plates and copper plates, and steel and wire and circuits, and piercing rounds, and walls, grenades you can have. You can have all of these module ones. I don't need those on me. And that's most of the old base teardown. In fact, I think it's all of the old base teardown. The only things that are still actively being shipped to the old base are... You're gonna move this. This can... it can go. It can go now. The only things that we still need train shipments to the old base for are... That's 4,800. You should... Here's what you should do with that. You should move that down to your silos, because that's where you're going to want it when you build any new spacecraft. Because you're just going to want to load rockets up with it. So move that now. Because you know where that's going to have a home. There you go. You've also, through happy coincidence, built yourself a really extensible yellow science assembly down here. And it definitely looks like yellow science is your current bottleneck. Actually, it doesn't look like you have a science bottleneck right now. I think your science bottleneck right now might be your labs. In that your labs are just not fast enough to consume all of the science that you're making. So you would want more labs, which you can do because you're going to rip out your iron and you're going to rip out your copper as soon as you build a new location for the manufacture of purple science, because this setup is kind of scuffed. No, it's not. You're training in almost everything you need for it. You could actually rebuild that. No, you need stone on a train. Yeah, okay. You need stone on a train to make that fully extensible. Oh, I don't think we can put off a train stone mine any longer now. So let's go do it. How many drills will we need for that? 31 drills. I have like 700 blue belt. I think we're probably fine. I'll go grab another 20 drills. Just in case we need them. Alright, mech armor is also done. So we also need to go back to Fulgora very soon. But we're going to do this first. Are you? No, I'm going to go back to Fulgora immediately, because I want mech armor. Here, I'll help. You guys are slow. Actually, haven't you automated EM science shipments? You have. You don't need to go back to Fulgora yet, because you also want to research personal battery 3s, and you also want to research Roboport 2s. Because when you go back to Fulgora, you want to make all 3 of those. Yeah, you're gonna be on Nauvis a little longer. Yeah. Alright. Let's go find a mine to copy that uses big drills. That'll do. This is the tileable unit of a big drill. Could really maximize stone by putting them, like, here. Yeah, like that seems like a pretty good compromise. That actually covers the whole patch in a very clean way. Right? Yeah, it's just barely within its radius. Alright, cool. So that's stone. We can pull this whole belt up. And then I need more medium power poles as well. So we'll walk this belt back to base. This is now obsolete. Dude, we fly through research now. I love that. Pull this all the way up here. Snip those two. No trains coming. You guys are going to work on that from here? Alright, then I'm going to tear all this down. Because it's not necessary anymore. I can back this power line back. Because it's not necessary anymore. I can actually rip up this entire stone belt. It's going to temporarily turn off our purple science, but I think before I go back to Flora, I am going to plug brick and stone. Well, I'm gonna redo all the sciences before I go to Flora. I only have purple and yellow left anyway. So it's not gonna take me that much work. And yellow's really easy. Yellow's tileable already, because I had the foresight to build it cleanly. Instead of shoehorning it into a base that was destined to be temporary. Because then, once that's done, that's actually this entire base rendered obsolete. Like, I can rip everything down. And that'll feel very good. So given that, I'm actually going to change where science goes to buy myself a bit more space. You can bring it down to right about here, I would say. No, don't make that underground. Just sever this entire line now, because it's all going to be obsolete soon. Like this. Like this. Like that. And then red and green doesn't have to snake through this section of purple, because I really want to redo this section of purple. And then additionally, because I'm sure that my bots have picked up science from somewhere, it's outside logistics range. We'll do this then. Garbage collection. If I know there's something in the logistics network, I'm going to request it, and then find a place for it. So I know that my drones are going to have picked up random science during their demolition of this portion of the base. I'll just have them bring it over to me, and I'll stick it in the labs myself. Logistics storage 0, logistics storage 0. Beautiful. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, rip all this up. Just do it right now. Why wait? It also means you can finally change this piece of rail. It does mean you can finally change that piece of rail. Or does that weird S-bend? I don't think I need to give that any extra signaling because all the entries are already signaled. Hello, sir. You can deconstruct this. And this, and that, and these, and all of this. It's gonna take you forever to put all those plates away, but so be it. No, it's not. Again, just cram them in passive providers. Whatever. Have the drones work on this as well. Between me and random logistics drones, we'll find a place to put all this stuff. But I'm just going to help them move some of it around. You guys finished charging up? There you go. You good yet? There you go. It's actually EM science that you ran out of. What's going on down here? 7,100. Fulgora Nomad, why are you still here? Oh, because I didn't automate you. Let's see. All requests satisfied? All requests satisfied. And then never go to volcanoes. That would be why. And bring out EM science with me. I guess because I have prod modules in the labs, I brought 5k, which I thought was going to be just barely enough for mech armor. But you get more of it because you're running prod modules. It makes perfect sense. This also means we probably want to start work on the Gleba ship soon. Because we can get in the Gleba ship to fly back and forth to Fulgora if we can't catch the Fulgora ship at the right time. To confirm, you're not loading a stone train, right? You made the stone mine down here. Yeah, you built an unload station for stone, but you're just direct feeding stone into those furnaces. Okay. Just confirming. Making sure that I haven't already done a step. There's iron done. Let's grab these couple pieces of track. And then we'll do all of this junk. And all of this junk. And remember that this power line is important, unfortunately. Construction bots really showing up to do some work. Appreciated. Wonder how green circuit and red circuit is holding up with this increased science demand. It's going, that's for sure. And it looks like everything is running. So I'm going to assume that it's holding up fairly well. The biggest drain from yellow and purple is going to be steel and copper. It's not going to be circuits. So I think if the circuits were holding out now, with the amount of red chips that blue science eats, they should be fine overall. I think. I think they'll be okay. And how are you doing out here, Fulgora Nomad? Fulgora is experiencing a blackout. That's to be expected. But you are sitting down there making rockets. And we'll probably expand out this accumulator grid a little more once we get back. Ooh, a lot of those drills are dead. Yeah, we gotta get back down to Fulgora relatively soon. I think we may run it out of scrap. So we're gonna have to get the trains up and running. Alright, there we go. You also don't need steel on you, or iron, or these, or these, or these, or these, or these, or these, or these. So these can go. Also, this steel stock can perish. Let's pull you back. These no longer need to be signaled, as far as I know. You don't need to be powered. It's only you that needs to be powered. And this power line up here looks fairly robust. So let's connect you to that, and then we can strip out these. All of these, and that. And all of these. Beautiful. You're going to haul all that steel away because you're inside the logistics network. I love that for you. I'll do my part as well. Okay. These are going to suck to take apart. In fact, where's my car? There you are. What I may do... The hell? Get rid of that. Disgusting. I may just load all of this iron ore into the car and drive it over to the foundry, because there's going to be so much of it. And I... Oh, fuck. Okay. Change of plans. This needs to go to the rocket fuel factory first. Which is... part of the oil refinery? I think? No trains coming? Take your shot. Where is rocket fuel? You look like rocket fuel. You are rocket fuel. Why is sulfur not keeping up? Are you running out of petroleum products again? You are. Holy cow. That's crazy. Well, that's some of it gone. No trains coming. This is going to take a few trips. We'll do it in pieces. Because I think that's the only thing I use solid fuel for. Plus, it'll be nice to go check out the foundries. That's a neat section of the base. I don't see any trains coming. I think you have clearance here. We'll just dump them in these chests. Here you go. Knock yourself out. We'll do that trip every once in a while, and before you know it, our iron ore in the old base will be gone. Just don't hit your nuclear fuel stock. That would be disastrous for you. It's not like it would blow up or anything, but it's an enormous amount of uranium that you have stockpiled in those. You are good to cross here. Am I importing turbo builds yet? No. Should probably go back to Volcanus at one of these points and make sure I'm doing that as well. Because we may want to think about upgrading to turbos in some of our higher throughput factories. Like some of the science factories, for example. Okay. Let's see if we've burned through some rocket fuel. And can reload that with stocks of solid fuel. Trains coming? No. Doesn't look like you have. You can get some in there. Yeah, it's consuming stacks. Also, you gotta redo that so you're using assembly 3s, because the assembly 3s have a 1-to-1. Could be generating twice as much rocket fuel if you wanted to. But only if you wanted to. Train coming? No train coming. Maybe like 2 more trips and then we're set. And then we can rebuild our last 2 sciences, and ideally by then the Fulgora ship is back. You also really want to get that Gleba ship working. Alright, next time we come back to the base, we'll build a space platform starter pack. We'll start sending up some rockets with space platform in them. Because you're right, it is going to take a lot of launches, and you want to get it done earlier rather than later. What are you going to need for that? Space platform? It just so happens that I know where to get that. You have a ton of it over here by your launch pads. Yoink. And then you're going to need processing units. Yoink. And then you're going to need steel, which we should have a massive horde of over... Wow, they took it all already. No, it's over here. I got excited for a second. There you go. Work on that. We just want to get the Gleba ship up in the air. We're not going to Gleba anytime soon, but It's a lengthy process to build a ship, and it's a lengthy process to start a ship once it's up there in the sky. So we're going to get started on it nice and early. And then after Gleba is Aquilo, and after Aquilo, we're done. I have a slight temptation to Mega Base, but I don't know if I will. I do like this base. I like the logistical flow of this base. I like the way it's put together. There's definitely things that I could improve about it if I wanted to. But whether I actually do or not, we'll see. There we go. And then I think the last trip of iron ore we'll just leave in the car. And next time we're in the car for whatever reason, we can go and drop it off. I think that's enough driving the car around for today. Oops. Oh well. Good enough. So, you can go. You can go. You can go. All of you can go, and you can go. But not the power line. You can go. This water pipe can also finally go. You've outlived your usefulness. And then everything can go. Yeah. Just get rid of it all. The gears can go. The science belt stays. These belts can all go. This power line might actually be important. It was. Should have trusted my gut. So let's get as much distance out of this thing as we can. There you go. You guys are back on. Turn your personal roboport off for this, because they're just going to fill your inventory with junk. Let the logistics network do this, and then use your garbage collection to pull all the stuff out of the logistics network that you don't actually want. Because all of this should be in logistics coverage. You're going to need power. There you go. These can go. These can go. These can go. How much of this do you really want to rebuild? All of it? Yeah, you're gonna need to, because the ratios aren't going to be right. You need to move that entire thing. Ugh. Ugh. Alright. I mean, you're right, but I'm mad about it. You can come through here. I just want to move as much science out of the way as possible of the area next where I want to build this stuff. Go up and around here. You're gonna go under this roboport because it's inconveniently placed. And then back down here. And you're gonna plug in right there. This belt is going to come up. I'll do this part myself because it's out of robot range. And all of that needs to go. Unfortunately. Now that that's done, give me a new space platform. This is going to be the Gleba Voyager. You are going to get a space platform starter pack. Off you go. God, it's going to take so much work to rip this up. Also, why did you do it this way? I have so many questions about this belt work that you're using here. Why are they yellow? What is this? Like, surely that's just better, right? Oh, they split further on down. That would be a good reason why. But where do you go? You go to green. Okay. Fair. Well, in that case, then I actually think what you would want to do is this. This is wrong. Also, for the love of God, upgrade it. Oh, take this apart. I don't know what I was thinking setting this green circuit station up. But it's heinous. Have your personal thoughts do some of this. Right. So you do that. Then take the rest of this apart. You are going to have them meet in a splitter, like, here. You're gonna have these go like this. Right? And then you're gonna have these go like this. And then like this. And then you're gonna have it spit out like here. And that one's going to go up. And it's going to go into green science. And then this one is going to come out. What's your guys' problem? I don't know. They'll figure it out. Oh, out of logistic storage. Okay, hold on. I can fix that. That means we filled up all of our storage chests? Like our hold this random... Ah, this is the problem. This is what's transpired. So this section of the grid got disconnected. There you go. This also got disconnected. This is such a... Man. How long are you really gonna live like this? You don't even need this roboport. Like, what's even in here? Let's just get rid of it, man. Make it go away. Kill this. They'll find a place for it. Like, I'm not worried about it. Just let him figure it out. You can clean up the rest after. Connect here. We got our shipment from Fulgora in, so that's great. This is going to make modules. Tear this down. Tear this down. Tear this down. Tear that down. You're going to need to save some room for more train stations here, though. And the only place that you can fit them is where you wanted to put blue. No, you can have them swing in from, like, down here. You can extend... You can have this switch off and then wrap around and come in here for more stops. It's going to be ugly, but let's just keep telling ourselves that this is temporary. And then eventually we'll do a better job of setting up science. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen. And then will you guys work on that? Because I do think you're doing a great job right now. Keep it up. I am going to go finish connecting this stone mine to the rail network. This power line appears to no longer serve a function. So we'll back it all the way up to there. And we'll make a new connection here. You never grabbed the medium power poles that you need. That's why you came over here in the first place. Also, as long as you're here, great opportunity to add space platform to the logistics network. You are enabled when the space platform is less than 100 times 40. You request those. And you finished your last Fulgora research. What else would you like? Maybe get Tesla weapons in there as well. Could be fun to integrate Tesla weapons into the eventual defense of the base. Why don't you request what you need to make these? And then you know what else? As long as you're down here... Well, get your medium power poles, first of all, or you're going to forget forever. And for the love of God, set your filter. Which is... you. And then also, don't you have like a parameterized mall blueprint somewhere? No. I could... No, you do. You do. It's in your stream blueprints. There it is. So the storage filter is asteroid collector. The logistics limit is asteroid collector. The manufacturing target is asteroid collector. These stack to 10? They do. So to make that work, you are going to need to ship... No, you have it all in the logistics network. It should be down here. They're not in logistics chests. You could put them in logistics chests. These are passive providers up here? Yeah, okay. Because that mall is starting to run out of space, it's going to lead to a little bit of lag time on the logistics drones. Oh, you're set. You're good. You can get upgraded. You can get upgraded, and you can get upgraded. And then let's also, while we're down here, build the Gleba Voyager. So that's going to be the Fulgora Nomad. Copied and pasted. The Gleba Voyager requires 1,200 space platform. Also, these aren't Prod 2s in your rocket silos. They're Prod 1s. So let's get that cleaned up. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I'll see you in a bit. Off you go. Good shit. This dismantling looks like it's going well. As soon as Tesla weapons are done, I'm going to sever this connection. But these can go now. That can go. All of these can go. Just funnel it back into the network eventually. You've also killed your power down here again somehow. There we go. And then plug that back in. There we go. And now you can finally go set up this stone mine. After you launch another 6 rockets worth of space platform. Up you go. Also, you can drop off this random calcite that you have in one of those. No train coming, you're good to cross. Personal roboport can get turned back on. There's a gap in your belt here. Scandalous. So it looks like... Well, no, we planned for a 1-4 one to be the stone train. So I'm going to need a 2 to 4 balancer. Something like you. We'll come in like that. This is going to be the world's smallest station. Grab it with the track. So that you know where the track is going to go as well. Alrighty. Make that connection. You will need a light. You can run this power straight up here. Off you go. You're gonna have a real quick and dirty T-junction here. So rip that signal out. I'm not going to bother grade separating this one. I just want it to get plugged in. You can go here. These are unnecessary. Come through here. Good. And then you're going to be 141 stone pickup. Alright. Stone connected to the network. These definitely don't need speed 2s in them, but I don't know. They're working. I'm not going to worry about it too much.